announced a ton of new Surface products today, but it also gave us a glimpse of the future. The company talked about 2 new dual-screen devices that we're not going to see until holidays 2020. At the event here, they have a couple on display. We're not allowed to get anywhere near them. I did get a little bit of time touching them. The Neo is kind of more of a tablet sort of device. It opens like a book. It has 2 screens and a hinge in the middle that lets it open at a 360 degrees. This is kind of an answer to all of those foldables we're seeing out there. Microsoft believes that dual screens are really going to be the future of devices. It's not necessarily all these foldables right now. There's just a lot of trade-offs that you get with foldables. You can't get them wet. It's not glass, so they scratch easily. They're just very fragile devices. So Microsoft is kind of betting that dual screen is going to be the way to go. They found that also having a second screen makes you a lot more productive. So when you go back to Microsoft's heart, it's Office, it's productivity, it's Word, Excel, it's all of these things that you're going to want to be able to kind of multitask. The kind of big surprise that they had was they have a new phone called the Surface Duo. This runs on Android, which is a very different move for them. Microsoft had tried with Windows Phone in the past, but they ended up killing it off a couple years ago. They just couldn't get enough people to make the apps. With the Duo, they're going with Android, so you'll be able to kind of have all of the goodness of Microsoft, Windows, Office, but you're going to be able to access all of those Android apps that you want to have. Both of these devices have 2 screens. The Duo has 2 5.6-inch screens that when you expand it, you kind of have an 8.3-inch display. The Neo has 2 9-inch displays that then expand to 13.1 inches. This is going to let you be able to multitask. So for instance, if you have Excel open, you'll be able to see the columns on one side, but you can zoom in on something on the other. Or for your mailbox, you'll be able to see the full list of messages you have on maybe the left side of the screen, and then on the right side, you can pop into an actual message, read it, respond without losing where you were in your overall message box. They really see these as a way to just like make us more productive, to get people into the Microsoft ecosystem. We don't have a ton of details about these devices right now since it's so early. They really wanted to announce them to give developers time to make apps for those 2 screens. Microsoft has also done some work, and it's going to be doing work, so if a developer doesn't necessarily support 2 screens, the app will still look okay. That's going to be especially important for the Duo phone. It's unlikely that every Android app developer is going to support dual screens. So Microsoft will do work so that these apps don't look horrendous and you don't find that you just can't use them at all on these devices. It's still early days with these. We don't have a ton of details about what the software is going to eventually look like on the Duo. We don't know if it's going to be 5G. We don't know if it'll be as high as the $2,000 foldables that we're seeing from Samsung or even higher price from Huawei. I suspect that Microsoft will probably go with slightly lower pricing. The Duo is pretty similar size to the Galaxy Fold when it's expanded. I compared it to an iPhone 11 Pro as well. It's about the same thickness when it's closed. It's about not quite an inch each side, a little bit wider. This isn't going to be your super compact phone. If you like something that's tiny, that's going to fit in your hand, this isn't necessarily going to be the option that you want to pick. But if you do want something that just has more screen real estate, so you'll be able to hop into different apps and take advantage of all of sort of multitasking and things like that, this will be a better option. The Neo will have an optional keyboard that you can add on. They both will also work with the stylus. You're going to have to pay for those separately. They're not going to come with the Neo. The Duo is not going to work with an outside keyboard. Microsoft said it's still a little early to say exactly what the software is going to look like on these, but you can expect the Duo to be more of an Android experience, where obviously the Neo is running Microsoft's new version of Windows. We're not going to see these for at least a year, but Microsoft really sees these dual screen devices as the future of computing. The Neo is that bigger device if you want to replace a tablet or do more intensive things on the go than you necessarily would with, say, an iPad. The Duo is, it's kind of almost a bridge in between the future of